Saltburn was disappointing. I'm sorry, I had to be the one to say it, but it was disappointing. Let me tell you why. Ooh. I'm literally a fake YouTuber. Like, shout out to the 14 subscribers. Hopefully you can hit 20. I don't have a microphone, so instead I'm using my little sculpture. Her name is Raquel. Okay, she's a baddie. Okay, right. Look at her phone. It's all in the details. Okay, it's all. You can't even see her like phone screen that I painted on. Anyways, she has a painted on phone screen, but she's gonna be my microphone. So I watched Saltburn last week, and then I did a second rewatch today. And I have thoughts. I have many. It actually left me with more thoughts. On TikTok, I know everybody's talking about Saltburn. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, that was the craziest movie I've ever watched. I've never seen something like that before. That was so crazy. Like, oh my gosh. Right. Personally, no, we're gonna save the opinion for later. We're gonna save my opinion for later because you'll know my opinion, okay? Saltburn literally has everything that us Gen Zers want. It has that square little screen. It has Jacob Elordi smoking cigarettes with an eyebrow piercing and earrings and toxic yaoi. We don't need anything else, you know? This movie was made for us. Like, Miss Emerald knew. Saltburn follows, girl, I don't know the cast. The movie starts with the main character, Oliver, played by Barry Keoghan, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, walking through campus, and he quickly makes eyes for Felix, played by Jacob Elordi with the eyebrow piercing. And it's giving obsessive, it's giving stalker, and it's giving weird. We quickly see how socially awkward Oliver is. He's walking through, trying to get like a seat at the lunch table or whatever, and he's like, can I sit here? And they're like, no, you can't sit here. And then he like befriends this nerd who, Right. One thing that this movie does spectacularly well is makes you feel uncomfortable. I was gonna say the only reason it's not gonna be like a comfort film is because like it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable and disgusting. That's what it is. There's so much silence in this movie. It's kind of like there's always silence. There's hardly ever like music playing in the background. There's like moments where the camera is 2 inches away from the actors' faces. Like, back up, get out my face. And I feel like nobody really talks about how hilarious this movie is. This movie is a comedy. Felix and Oliver don't interact until Felix's bike breaks down, and Oliver like, hey, just use my bike, like, just use mine. Like, I'm just going to the library, like, just use mine. And you know what? I can't blame Oliver for being hyper obsessed with Felix, because think about it. If Jacob Elordi was thanking you profusely, gave you a little kiss on the forehead, and then gave you a nickname.
Yeah. Oliver, I love you. I love you. I love you, seriously. Okay. Thank you so much, mate. So kind, you're a fucking lifesaver, really. Thank you.
You wouldn't be like, like, I literally, right. Like, you're lying to me, and you're lying to everybody else. Right. So after this point where Felix's bike breaks down, he like sort of starts like trying to include Oliver or Ollie on like outings with his friends, trying to like, you know, become his friend, befriend him a little bit. And what I think is a particularly like hilarious part of the film is when the nerd guy sees Oliver again, and he's like, well, you look different. And he's like, I do. And then he was like, he said something, I don't know.
You look different. Do I?
He'll get bored of you.
Excuse me? Bootlicker.
And honestly, he ate with that because, well, yes, he is. And at this moment, it's kind of like, oh, is this character gonna be like important to the film? Like, is he gonna come back? Like, is he like what? Like, is he gonna be? Is he gonna be the villain? Because he seemed pretty upset, and he's like, he's kind of, you know, but he doesn't. The nerd guy mentions to him like, hey, once Felix gets tired of you, like, he's gonna dump you. And I feel like that really like weaseled its way into Oliver's head and made him aware of things that he probably would not have been aware of. And this is where the toxic yaoi really starts, okay? There's this particular scene where like they're lying down, they're like chilling in his room, and Oliver's like, yo, your room is mad nasty, like clean it up, I'm gonna start cleaning. He starts like complaining, like throwing shit into the bin, and he's like, I can clean my own room, like get out, get out, get out.
I'm not a fucking child, I can do it myself.
And he's like, get out, like I'll talk to you later. And then he goes to the pub with his friends. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm irritated with Ollie. And Oliver sees that and he's like, something has to be done, something has to be done, something has to be done, something has to be done. And something is done. He gets a call from his mom, and basically his dad died. Felix is like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for you, like that is so heartbreaking, like knowing how you grew up, like that must be so hard, like you can't go home, like you shouldn't go home, come to Saltburn with me.
Well, why don't you come home with me? Come to Saltburn.
And Bray's like, really? Little old me? In Saltburn with you? Really? Like, thanks. When you're being introduced to Felix's mom, you could kind of see like how she's also attracted to broken things, you know, just like how Felix was attracted to Oliver because, oh, like things aren't good at home, like I could help you, you know. They're sort of both opening their homes up because Felix's mom had invited this woman Pamela to come stay with them until she got back on her feet, just like how Felix invited Oliver to come to Saltburn until the semester starts again, so he doesn't have to go home to his broken house. Sorry. During the night that he gets there, he has a proper conversation with Felix's younger sister, Venetia, and she says that it's almost fall, so they're going to lose their minds soon.
It's nearly full. Do you know what that means?
No?
We're all about to lose our minds.
Which I don't know if she was just trying to be like esoteric and like mysterious and like, I don't know, like what does that mean? Like,
what do you mean by that?
And I feel like that, what does that mean? Like what do you mean by that? Like I'm confused. So this is where you kind of see Ollie sort of like lie unprovoked. Now I'm not gonna say like truly like unprovoked because it kind of was provoked in a way, in the sense that no. He was being threatened. How is he being threatened? When he starts to feel like there's a distance growing between him and the family or him and Felix, like he needs to rope himself back in. He has to keep them. After like the family has like, oh yeah, Pamela left. She had to go. She like overstayed her welcome. He's like, well, she was lying. Like you didn't pick that up. She was lying. Like, and this is where one starts to think every accusation is a confession. Why would she lie? Like, wasn't she being like stalked by some Russian man? Like, why would she lie? Like, the drain scene.
What the hell?
The drain scene.
God, no way.
My thought, Ollie, just go get a straw is gonna be more efficient. Disgusting, uncomfortable, strange, weird. After that, you quickly get something even more disgusting. The vampire scene. Disgusting. I cringed, I gagged. It was everything nasty. I hated it. I hated every second of it. So as this is all happening, Farley is looking out his window and being like, right. And he reports back to Felix, and Felix is giving Ollie the cold shoulder the next day, being like, that was so disgusting, why'd you do that? And he lies and says like,
Farley's making that up. Like, he lied. Like, he's literally lying. And, like, you know, he has to lie. You know, just to keep things fun and, like, entertaining. That's why he lied. He lied for the fun of it.
Right.
Every accusation is a confession. This was really lying for the fun of it. Ollie. I quickly wanted to mention the karaoke scene. That's embarrassing. I would have never let Farley disrespect me like that. But also, Farley came through with like the vocals. Like he... Oliver just does stuff, okay? It's weird, it's strange. He does stuff that is weird and strange. And it's kind of like, what's the purpose? Like, why are you doing that? Like, that's weird. That's literally weird. Like, that's literally weird. Like, I'm literally weirded out right now. Like, I'm weirded out. This is where stuff starts happening, okay? This is where things start to go down. After karaoke gate.
I love you. You pay my rent. Woo! You tell him.
Oliver goes into Farley's room and does right. After that, right, Farley gets kicked out. Farley gets kicked out of the house. They're like, pack your things and leave. Right? Come to find out that he was planning on stealing one of the family's like prized possessions. He's like, hey, just came into some money. I'm gonna tell it to you. And they were like not having it, so they kicked him out. Oliver's birthday's coming up. His birthday's coming up and they're throwing him a party. And as a birthday surprise, Felix decides to take Oliver to see his family. Because his mom called and was like, hey, I want to get in touch with Ollie. And Felix was like, oh my gosh, great, we'll come over. Oliver's not too happy about that. He's not happy. It's the worst birthday present for him, right? The car ride to the place.
Please turn the car around. You can't take me there. You can't, Felix. You can't take me there.
She's your mom. She's your family. She's all that you've got.
You don't understand.
Ollie,
you don't. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Please, no.
Opens the door. There's a mom. She doesn't look like a drug addict. She says something about his dad. But his dad died. You're confused. I'm confused. Felix is confused, right? He's confused. Everybody's confused, right? They go into the house. They're reminiscing on Oliver's life. He's like, oh, Oliver and his sisters. Felix is like, you had sisters? You told me you was the only sibling. Oliver's like, I got a headache. I gotta go. I got to go.
Ollie, just take a pill or something, for Christ's sake.
And they're like, no, stay for lunch, stay for lunch. They stay for lunch. They stay for lunch.
I love spag bowl.
The mom mentions that like Oliver has been such a bookworm since he was young and had a lot of trouble making friends, which the wheels start turning in your head. Like, maybe is that why he lied? Because like he had no friends. They get back to like Saltburn and he's like,
you're the only friend I have. Like, you're the only friend that I made. Like, when we get back to Oxford, like, would you still be my friend? Like, please be my friend. Like,
but he's not. Felix isn't having it. He's like, you're weird. You're weird for that. Like, you're literally weird for that.
Fucking weird is what it is, mate. Honestly, I don't even know where to start. I mean, you're a fucking liar, Ollie. Why would you lie?
I just wanted to be a friend.
I feel like when Farley leaves, like, that's really like the crescendo. Like, that's when everything starts going down, like when Farley gets kicked out. Yeah, there's like a shift in tone, which I really like, a shift in everything. I have no credentials to talk about movies. I'm not a film bro. I do not study film. I know nothing about the arts, okay? It's just me and my love for movies. I just like movies, okay? It's just me and my iPad. So the day of Oliver's birthday party comes, and Oliver is upset. He has no friends anymore. He's sad. There's this beautiful birthday party. Everybody's like dressed very nicely, but it's not filled with his friends because he only has one friend. He only has Felix, and he sees Farley, and Farley's like, enjoy this time. Yeah, enjoy it, because when you leave and when you get old and when you have kids, you're gonna be like reminiscing, and you're gonna be like, oh, I remember that time. You're gonna do everything to like come back, and you never will be. You won't be able to like relive this moment because you're poor and whack and annoying and broke.
And you'll
wonder how you could ever get it back. But you don't get it back. Because your summer's over. And so you catch a train to whatever creepy doll factory it is that you make Olivers in, and I come back here. This isn't a dream to me. It's my house. So whatever happens, I always come back. Try harder next time, baby.
And I'm not sure if this is the moment where everything is like, where he decides to do the acts that he does. Like on my second rewatch, I was like, maybe this is the moment he decides to take it this far, but I'm not sure. Like, I have questions, okay? He gets Felix to talk to him, and he was like, he tells Felix, I gave you what you wanted. And then he says like, oh, everybody put on a show for Felix. Okay. What does that mean? Like, I mean, I understand what he means by like, oh, I gave you what you wanted, as in like, Felix looks like is somebody that like looks for someone who's broken. Felix is the type that like gives his kindness out to people, you know, is very giving, is very kind. So, okay. But everybody put on a show for Felix, like, I don't get it. The night of partying is over. Felix and Oliver had an argument in the garden maze. Oliver wakes up the next day and there's chaos in Saltburn. Felix is dead. Felix is dead, and they found his body next to the Minotaur in the labyrinth that is the garden maze.
I think the police.
Yes. Yes, come away, darling. It's nearly lunch.
Yes.
After this, like, everything's just sad. Like, everybody's sad, everybody's depressed, everybody's crying. The mother in particular tries to move on really fast. She's trying to pretend like everything's normal. A scene that really stuck out to me was, of course, the scene where they have to close the curtains because they're bringing his body past the dining room where they're sitting. And when they close the curtains, the light is red. I love colors, right? I love colors. And I was like, oh my gosh, like red, like death, like blood. Oh, I'm so smart. So all this time, the mom is trying to like act all like, it's okay, like we have to move on, like it's fine. That's weird. And everybody's upset, and Farley gets yelled at. Insert clip here.
Search file is wrong.
Yes.
No.
Get out!
Wait,
What's happening?
Elspeth?
Don't you dare look at her!
Right. The graveyard scene.
Get out!
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Not in a good way. After that scene, we get this scene of Venetia, Felix's younger sister, talking to Oliver in #tub about like, you didn't even know him, like you only knew him for 6 months.
I remember then that you only knew him for 6 months. You have nothing to do with him, with us, with here. Nothing at all. You're just a stranger.
And I feel like, right. Because in this movie, like, you get so like,
Oh my gosh. He like was obsessed with him.
but like you forget like this only took place like over like the course of like what, a semester? Strange, weird. She called him out, like weird, like clock that tea. Venetia ends up dying. Unfortunately, rip. One thing I really like, at first for Felix's death, the family's like standing on the bridge tossing his stone into the water, which is a tradition that they do. At first, Oliver isn't included. He's like standing off to the side, like watching them. And then for Venetia's death, like he's included. Time goes on. He ends up taking money from the Saltburn dad and leaving the house. Time passes and he ends up meeting Saltburn mom in a cafe. He's like, oh my gosh. She's like, oh my gosh, Oliver, you're all grown up. And turns out that Saltburn dad has died. He was a flop anyways. I really didn't like that man. Like, I don't know, something about him gave flop. The sick reveal, that was gaggy, okay? That was, yeah. He was like, insert the clip.
These last few months have been the happiest of my life. It's just such a shame you got so ill.
Gaggy. Like, I thought that was like, yeah. And then we get the zoom out of like where he actually is, because it kind of leaves you guessing, like, where is he telling the story from? Is he in a detective's room? Like, is he like doing text-to-speech on his iPhone, like to write a book or something? Like, I'm so confused. And then we get this, in my personal opinion, a sloppily done montage revealing that like he was the villain the entire time. That was not a gag. That was not the gag of the century. I was like, that's it? Like, oh, he did it?
So?
No, I'm saying
What now?
I mean, it's not specifically.
And then after that, he kills the mom. Very nasty. And then dances around the house naked. Right.
You better not kill the groom.
Okay, this is my personal opinion. You don't have to agree, because I know most people are not going to agree with me. The only reason I found Saltburn disappointing was because of the ending. You know, I had a lot of questions in my mind, like, what truly was his motive? Was it the house all along? Was it friendship? Did he do this in retaliation because Felix found out about his lies? Like, what truly was the motive? Did he know about the Saltburn family before he came? Why did he do all of this? Why did he want to kill them? Why did he want the house? He's well off, you know? And I feel like that it was disappointing because they did a very unexpected things, but the only unexpected things they did was in sexual scenes. And that's pretty boring, because the ending was mundane, it was expected, it was just okay. From a movie that has such phenomenal performances by everybody, I expected the ending to really, I don't know, really show that. I expected the ending to really like be like something else. Like, I thought it was gonna be better. I thought it was gonna be better. Like, I'm getting all this hype, I'm seeing everything, and I'm like, it's gonna be the best thing I've ever watched. Lower your expectations. It's not all that. Happy New Year! Thank you for watching my poorly explained and my poorly thought out Saltburn video. Let's have a moment for the notes, right? Can you see that? It says Saltburn was disappointing. This is like the Greek mythology thing. And then at the end, dances around the house naked. I just want to mention the soundtrack for this film was absolutely amazing. Banger after banger. There's murder on the dance floor. At the end, yeah, shit. I know. Like, I unironically listen to that song now. Moral of the story, the movie's great. To conclude, again, the movie's great. I recommend it a little bit. It's the type of movie that would have blown up on 2014 Tumblr, okay? This is the type of movie that you curate a Pinterest board around, like a mood aesthetic, okay? If you like the aesthetics of like The Secret History, like dark academia aesthetic, you're gonna like the aesthetics of the movie, like purely aesthetic wise, not plot based. You will like it, like I liked it. Thank you so much for watching. If you agree with me, comment below and tell me I agree with you. If you disagree with me, comment below and tell me I disagree with you. If you like the video, like the video. If you dislike the video, dislike the video. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 24 subscribers before the end of 2024. So please help me out and be on this beautiful journey with me. And it's a goodbye and Happy New Year from me and my creation, Raquel. We'll see you guys in 2024. Still 2023. more videos in 2024. More YouTube videos in 2024. Now like my keychain. I got it from Urban Outfitters. Yes, I paid like $18 for it. Mind your business. Let's applaud the vision board. All right, applaud the vision board like she ate. Bye.
I wasn't in love with him. I know everyone thought I was. But I wasn't. I loved him, of course. It was impossible not to love Phoenix. And that was part